Hey guys, welcome back to the next video on the interactive mini album tutorial. So on this video we are going to start working on the pages. So we went ahead and created the base and the base pages as well. If you missed that video, I'll link it down below. And we're going to continue with the first two signatures here. So we're gonna call this page 1, page 2, and so on. So I'm going to start with heavyweight cardstock. I do have a PDF cutting guide available on my website if you're interested in that. So we are going to cut two pieces of 8.5 by 3 3/4. Okay, so 3 3/4 here. And I'm gonna double check, this is 8.5 and 8.5. Then I'm going to cut two pieces of 6 inches by 1. Okay, so 6 by 1, two of these little pieces, and then I'm going to cut two pieces of 4 by 4. So we're gonna do 4, and I'm gonna cut these at 8 and then 4. Okay, so two pieces of 4 by 4, two of 6 by 1, and two of 8.5 by 3 and 3/4. I'm going to score the 3 3/4 inch pieces at 1/2 inch. Okay, so 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. Then the small little pieces, the 6 by 1, we're going to score at 1, 2, and 5. Okay, same thing for this one, 1, 2, and 5. And then we have the two 4 by 4 pieces. So now let's put this together. So I'm going to use my first signature page, and I'm going to go ahead and fold along the score lines, okay, for these two pieces. And then we are going to add one of these to each side of our base page. So I'm just gonna do this with glue. You can use your tape as well. And I'm just going to add my glue here and add one to each side. Okay, so I have this one, press down, and then we're going to add the other one right here. Okay, so just line these up and press down, and there we go. Okay, so before I add the other pieces, I'm going to add my design paper, and I'm going to just use a neutral page. If you don't know which paper you're using for now, you can go ahead and use some solid cardstock that will match the collection that you're using. I usually do that as well. But this collection has some pretty neutrals that I'm going to add. And so I'm gonna cut these at 8 1/4 by 6 1/4. Okay, and then I'm going to do two pieces of 8 1/4 by 3. Okay, and I don't know if this one will be big enough, so I'm just gonna use this other piece. So 8 1/4 by 3. Okay, and we are going to glue this on the inside of my page. So I'm gonna open that up and add some glue. Okay, and then throughout the tutorial I'm going to be adding like the pages that I need to in order to move on to the next step, like this for example, but for the decorating I'm gonna save that to the end. Okay, and so now I'm just going to glue these two sections. Okay, so again I'm only doing the inside, and I'm gonna do this one. Okay, some glue right here. If you hear snoring, it's my dog, so I apologize for that. And I'm gonna put this one right there. Okay, so now we're ready to add these 2 pieces, and so these 2 are going to make these 2 layouts kind of come on a second level here. And what I'm going to do is fold along the score lines. So on the one side we have a 1 inch, and on the other side we have these 2 1-inch sections, right? So we have that, and the side that has the 1 inch I'm going to glue on one of the flaps, and you want to put it kind of, if you want to mentally divide these into half, and just place it on the half of the half. That's about where I want it, so maybe about 1.5 inches from the top. And I'm going to glue the side that has 1 inch. Okay, I'm gonna place that one right next to that bending line, and then we are going to fold these 2 other 1-inch sections back and add glue on the 1 inch here on the edge. Okay, so glue on the edge, fold both back, and then close this page. Okay, wait for this to dry, and then when you open it, you're gonna have that 3-dimensional mechanism in here. And let's do the same for the bottom. Okay, so folds along the score lines. On one side we have 1 inch, and on the other side we have 2 inches, and we're going to glue the 1 inch. Now we're gonna imagine we're doing the bottom half and getting that center. Okay, and then we are going to fold 2 sections back, but we're gonna add glue on the 1 inch closest to the edge, fold both back, and close this. Okay, wait for this to dry, give it a minute, and then we're gonna open it, and we have our double mechanism here. And then what we're gonna do is just simply glue these 2 pieces. So I'm going to glue one on this top. Okay, so I'll glue right here at your 4x4 piece. Okay, so don't place it too close to the edge. You see how I'm leaving a little bit of a space there. Okay, now I'm gonna close these, press down, and then we're going to add the one for the bottom. Okay, so again I'm gonna add my glue right here at this piece. Okay, and then we're gonna close this. Okay, so now we have our gatefold page with this double platform picture space. You can add a picture here, or you can add a special feature from your design paper, and I think that would be really cute. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next page. Okay, so for page 2, I'm going to start with a piece of 6 3/4 by 8 1/2, and I'm just using my scrap here, this leftover piece. Okay, always double check this is 8 1/2. And then I'm going to cut one piece of 5 by 10. Okay, right here. Now the 8 1/2 by 6 3/4, we are going to score at 1/2 inch along the 6 3/4. Okay, and I'm going to fold along the score line, and I'm going to grab my page again. We're working on the back here for page 2, and I'm going to add these to the left side. So let's go ahead and add some glue right here and line this up. Here we go, and then we're just going to press down. So now I'm going to cut my regular cardstock to cover the inside of the page here before we move on to the next step. And I'm going to cut one piece at 6 1/4 by 8 1/4. Then I'm going to cut the second piece at 6 by 8 1/4. Okay, now we're gonna, and then I'm just going to glue these two. And then I'm going to score my 5 by 10 piece along the 5-inch side. I'm going to score at 1/2 inch, and along the 10-inch side I'm going to score at 5. Okay, and I'm going to fold along the score lines. I'm going to add my double-sided tape to this 10-inch. Okay, so press down, and then I'm going to fold along the other side, press down, and then we're going to cut the corners out on the 1/2 inch side, and we're gonna end up with a piece that looks like this. And now let's go ahead and add that to our page. So I'm going to open this up, and we are going to fold this in half, and we're going to place, you want the tape side up, and then you want this center fold to line up with the center of this page here, and we're just gonna place it at an angle like this, so make sure there's nothing coming out from this side. And let's go ahead and take out the tape here on the top. Okay, so now we're gonna close this page, press down, then I'm gonna open this from the other side and take out the tape here and close this again. Okay, so now when we open this page, we are gonna have our pop-up page, and that is gonna be your page 2. So now let's move on to the next 2 pages. Okay, so for page number 3, I'm going to cut 4 pieces of 6 1/4 by 6 3/4, and I have 2. I'm going to do a couple more here. Okay, so 6 1/4 by 6 3/4, and then along the 6 3/4 inches we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay, so let's go ahead and do 1/2 inch on all these pieces, 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch, and then we're going to fold along the score lines. Okay, so now we are going to glue these 4 pieces, one on each side of our base page. Okay, so I have my pages 3 and 4, and I'm going to just glue these down. Okay, so one along the top right here, and you want to center this a little bit. To add this other one on the bottom. Okay, so again, line it up to the center. It's going to be slightly smaller to the size of the page. Just press down. Then I'm going to open this one up, and then we're going to add the 2 other ones, one on each side. Okay, so now I'm going to cut 2 pieces of 7 by 11. Okay, and also heavyweight for everything. And I am going to score these pieces at 5 1/4 and 10 1/2. Okay, 5 1/4, 10 1/2. Same thing here, 5 1/4 and 10 1/2. Okay, and then we're going to fold along the score lines to create an accordion fold. Okay, here and this one. Okay, and we're going to press down, and then I'm going to glue these 2 pieces on the inside. Okay, inside these 4 layouts. So I'm going to line one up to each side, and you want to leave a little bit of room so these can close here on top. Okay, and I'm going to press down. Okay, and then open that up, press down here, and then we're going to add this other one. Okay, so add some glue, and again I'm going to add this one really close to the bending line without being on top. Make sure this can close here on top. Okay, so now I'm going to press down right here, open this up and press down. And then I went ahead and cut one of the sign papers. This one is going to be a little bit smaller, so this is 8 1/4 by 5 3/4. That way it can fit within the space. And I'm just going to glue this down. Okay, so for this one I am using my design paper, since this is not gonna be anything on top of this page. Okay, you can add a picture of course, but that's the main area. So we're gonna close that, and then we have the 4-way, kind of like a box page here, and then you do want to add magnets there as well, but for now I'm going to move on to the back side. And for this page I'm going to use one piece of 4 1/2 by 7 1/2. Okay, so I'm just using some leftovers, and then I'm going to use one piece of 3 by 7 1/2. Okay, and for this page I'm just going to do a double pocket, so I'm going to score these pages. So the first one we are going to score along the 7 1/2. We're going to score at half and 7, and along 4 1/2 we are going to score at half an inch. And then for the second one we are going to score at half and at 7. Okay, and the bottom piece is going to be a full pocket, so I'm going to take out the corners like that, and we are going to fold along the score line. And then I'm going to glue these pieces. So I'm going to start with the 3-inch piece. We're just gonna place this one on the center of the page. Okay, so I'm just gonna add my glue on these 2 sides here. Okay, and we're gonna put this on the center right here like this. Press down. And then the second one we are going to glue on top. Okay, along the bottom of the page. Just going to add glue here and here. Okay, and let's get some glue over here. And then we're going to add these right. Okay, and press down. Okay, press down, press down. And there you go. So we have the first 4 pages. We went ahead and did this like three-dimensional platform page. We have the pop-up page. This I'm gonna call a little box page because you open this up and then you have the surprise elements right there. And then we have our double pockets. So on the next video, we're gonna continue with the next two signatures here. And again, I have a PDF available with all the measurements and cutting, and I will link my website down below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one, guys.